whoever is in charge of marketing at ABC, in my opinion, really needs to reevaluate how they release their media to the press. Because today, they released the first sneak peek, but it was the day before the episode aired. It definitely should have been the second one. Then they released the second sneak peek, but on TV Guide. They didn't release it on the main promo channel or even ABC's official YouTube channel. So the marketing for Once Upon a Time is really bad and really off. But let's watch the sneak peek and then discuss it, because we're never going to get good marketing for the show. At this point, it's just kind of irrelevant. I mean, I'll discuss it further as the show progresses, like I always do. But, I mean, the strategies for the executives or the people that work for the show are just really bad. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. So let's watch the sneak peek. 1, 2, 3, go.
Gideon, wait.
He's just excited.
And so am I. Did you know that some books say this bridge is older than time itself? Thousands of years people have made sacrifices here, begging their wishes in this very river. You imagine that kind of ancientness.
I don't have to. It's not the only one to see the generations come and go.
Oh, Ron.
Well, I've been alive for many, many years. And of all those years, the last 10 have been the happiest I can ever imagine.
Well, we're only just beginning.
I know. But there's only one way I want to live this life from now on. As immortal.
What do you say?
I have a confession. This isn't just another stop in our adventure. This dagger has been a burden to me for too long. I've been a slave to its power, and now all I can hope is this river can grant me my one and only wish, to live a singular, natural life with you.
Okay, so the sneak peek is really nice for Rumbell fans. I would say it's really nice for Rumbell fans. I am not a shipper of Rumbell. I think the relationship is super toxic because I think Rumpelstiltskin is a liar. I think Rumpelstiltskin as a villain is perfect. He's essentially, to me, the overarching villain of the show. I just hate Rumpel and Belle together. I'm very sorry for those who ship Rumbell. I just don't like the couple. Because in the sneak peek, he's saying, "Oh, Belle, I will give up my powers and my immortality." What the hell? That is such a lie. He has said that so many times, and he's never done it. I mean, in season 4, he tried to kill Hook in order to free himself from the dagger. And Belle was like, no. And then, he let Hook die in season 5 and then took the powers of all the Dark Ones because he can't give up his power. So there's no way he gave up his magic. I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. It's so bad. And if he actually does do it, which I highly doubt he does, if he attempts to do it, he will instantly stop. There's no way Rumpel will give up power, because power for Rumpelstiltskin is his life. No matter how much he loves Belle, he will not give up his power. I imagine in Hyperion Heights that Weaver has his magic, because for one thing, Weaver still hasn't aged. I mean, granted, Robert Carlyle, I don't even know how old he is, but I imagine, there's not too much of a difference in the time jump for his age anyway. But at the same time, I just highly doubt he doesn't have his magic. Now, maybe Rumpel doesn't give up his magic, but Belle dies, because Giles Maddie is going to be in this episode, and that this episode looks like, or from this point, the sneak peek looks like Gideon is maybe like 10, and Belle. By the way, Belle is rocking some rogue hair, and she does, by the way, live in 2017. I don't know where the heck they are, but maybe they could portal hop and she'd go to a salon and fix her hair. I mean, that just. She doesn't need to have that white. It's so bad. The costume design on this show for season 7 is not good. Eduardo Castro, who did the design for the costumes for the first 6 seasons, has left the show. So if anyone has complaints about the costumes, like myself, that's why, because they lost an Emmy-nominated designer. I actually think once won a couple Emmys for costume design. So again, another reason why season 7 has the deck stacked against it. Now, I mean, I like the setup of the sneak peek, though the CGI is so bad. But I'm not expecting much from CGI, especially for a Friday show. Once Upon a Time CGI has never been super good. The magic effects are relatively decent when it comes to fireballs or ice magic. I mean, those always look good, or the poof effects when they vanish. But just where they are, I'm just curious what color the green screen is. I'm not even really curious about the magic of the bridge, because I know Rumple will not give up his magic. If he gives up his magic and I'm wrong, I mean, good for the writers for completely changing the character, but I just don't believe it. So, I mean, Emily DeRaven as Belle. I mean, I like the scene, don't get me wrong, because I think the episode has a lot to do, has a lot going for it. But at the same time, when I see Emily DeRaven as Belle, I'm like, this is just done. Like, I was over Belle's story a while ago. I'm not really into what's going on here. I really want to see Rumple or Weaver and Alice more so than Rumple and Belle. But I'm really curious to see how Giles Maddie's going to come back in this, and if Belle does die. So, I mean, visually the sneak peek is weird. And then, you know, plot-wise, Rumple giving up his powers, it's weird because we've seen for the past 6 seasons, his love is power, his second love is Belle. Though he, I guess, you know, he's a changed man, so maybe he really will do this change, but I highly doubt it. Then, like I said, marketing for the show is just abysmal. It's probably the worst marketing I've ever seen. 2 sneak peeks, that's awesome, but this one was from TV Guide. It wasn't even on their channel, like I said, or any YouTube outlet. So it's an odd marketing campaign. Hey, but 2 sneak peeks for beauty is better than no sneak peeks at all. Like I said, I made the reference to the tips and whatnot, and it's still money, it's still sneak peeks, it's still something to review, but I just don't like the way they present it. So anyway, the sneak peek for the backstory of Rumple and Belle, I'm not like super into, but I am into what's going on in the Hyperion Heights storyline. I really like the first sneak peek. So what do you guys have to say about this particular scene? Are you into Rumple and Belle? Do you ship Rumble? I guess that's really it. Like, if you ship Rumble, then you're obviously going to love it. If you don't, then you're not going to like it. I mean, you might like it just as a casual Once fan, but as someone who has analyzed the couple, I just don't appreciate the scene in that regard. But I do appreciate the fact that we have something to discuss. So anyway, share your thoughts about the sneak peek in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching my review of it, and we'll talk real soon. All right, guys. Bye.